For many people, the new year is usually a starting point for making some healthier changes. And joining us today is one of the nation's top celebrity and lifestyle wellness experts who has some advice to get the most out of any New Year's health goals you're making. You may remember Brett Hoebel as a secret trainer from The Biggest Loser, and he's also a nutrition and lifestyle coach, yoga instructor, personal trainer, and the founder of Hoebel Fitness. So, Brett, tell us about The Biggest Loser experience. What is the secret for how contestants work with their new healthy lifestyle and eventually maintain their weight loss?
You know, the secret is simple, and I told this to them day one and the day that they left the ranch. The dumbbell and the diet don't get you in shape. It's your accountability to your word, and it's the belief in yourself. You walk and your talk that gets you in shape. So for them, going from one extreme from the ranch to much more moderation in their everyday life, they've got to keep doing that. They've got to walk their talk and stay committed.
Great, and a big part of fitness is good nutrition. So what are some of your suggestions for nutrition and healthy options, especially for the whole family, not just for one person making healthier goals?
Yeah, for me it's about simple swaps. It's, you know, taking out something bad and swapping something in that still is going to have a big impact on their entire health, and it's something that they can add, again, very simply. So here's an example. I was an overweight teenager. And I'm really committed to helping the youth with childhood obesity. It's a big part of what I do. I do a lot of tour through schools. And I think a lot of parents will appreciate this, is when working with kids and their nutrition as part of the family, you've got to cut down on sugar. That is a big thing. Now, a lot of the sugar is hidden actually in the beverages, like soda, and even in juice, which has a lot of sugar in the natural sugars. So here's a simple swap. You want to swap out regular juice, put in Juicy Juice Fruitifuls. It's got 35% less sugar than regular juice, but it still has a full serving of fruit, and it tastes great, because with kids, the number one thing, hey, if it doesn't taste great, they're not going to eat it. And for the adults in the family, I think a great swap is taking the soda out, because there are still a lot of parents drinking a lot of soda. And listen, they've got to lead by example. If you want the kids to do right, then you've got to do right. Take the soda out. I love doing this instead of soda. Iced herbal tea with a dash of seltzer water. Now you've got a great, carbonated beverage, less sugar, tastes great, very little calories. It's a great, simple swap.
And I can definitely attest to the difference. Just changing out pop makes. My husband lost 60 pounds in college when he quit drinking pop, is one of his major things. 20 pounds came off right away.
There you
go.
go.
So what are some other big ways that people can change the way they eat to make sure they're getting healthier options?
Snacks. You know, I have a lot of people that work, a lot of moms are at home and they're skipping meals because they're taking their kids to school or running around. They're doing so much. They don't have enough food in between meals. Or I've got people on the other end of the spectrum that are at the office 8 to 10 hours or 12 hours a day, and they're going, and they're not eating enough, again, in between meals, or they're even skipping meals. The blood sugar drops, and as soon as that happens, they're going to make the wrong food choice. They're going to go for something super sugary, or they're going to overeat the next meal, and it's just a cycle that is hard to break. So if you have the right snacks, that is really important. So the snacks have got to be made from all natural ingredients. They've got to be, so here's some examples, like raw nuts and seeds, hard-boiled eggs, hummus, stuff that's portable. It can go in your purse. It can go in your desk drawer. I even like different types of shakes to use, that they can blend up in a blender. Those are great. You can make it as, on the go. It's just, you got to have stuff like that that's easy, accessible, tasty, and healthy.
Great. So you mentioned being an overweight teenager and child. What inspired your change and being the fitness expert you are today?
Well, I was actually a pre-med. That was what I was doing for many years after I graduated, as an undergrad and actually as I graduated college. And I never dreamt of being in the fitness industry, to be honest. It was always, sports were always a passion of mine. They came easy to me, and I just loved doing them. They are the reason I was able to lose the weight, was because I drew on my athletic prowess as an overweight person, but was still able to do the sports and lose the weight. But as a career, it wasn't on my radar. But what ended up happening was I it's funny, I couldn't afford a gym membership, really. I was a lab tech working as trying to get into med school, and it wasn't in the budget to have a gym membership. But on the 10th time I went to the gym, and finally the gym said, dude, you know what, you got to get a membership. I said, wow. All right. So my buddy said, well, why don't you teach? You could teach boxing. You've done so many martial arts. So I knew I could get a free membership if I was one of the instructors. So I didn't think I could teach a class by myself, so I applied to be an assistant instructor. But I showed up for my interview ready to answer questions, and instead they just threw the mitts at me. I started teaching with one of the instructors, and I got hired on the spot. And I started in the fitness industry part-time. But what ended up really happening is that's what I love to do. At the end of the day, medicine really wasn't my calling. And when I asked my dad what he thought, he said, find something that you love to do. It'll never feel like work, and either the money will come or it won't matter to you. And honestly, I knew what it was. It was fitness. That's what I woke up in the morning thinking about. I didn't mind staying late after work, helping people. And I feel really fortunate today. I found a career that I really love to do.
And that's great for anybody. So as a fitness expert, do you have some tips that you can share for an exercise routine in the new year? What are some good tips for making it last beyond those first 2 weeks of sudden inspiration?
I really do. I have been working really hard on a new program that focuses on 20-minute workouts. The number one reason that people do not work out, and the number one reason people do not cook for themselves, is because they say they don't have enough time. So even 30 minutes, I've heard people say, I don't have enough time. So I'm like, if you don't have 20 minutes, then I don't know what to say. You know, you got to be able to put 20 minutes of me time. I've started doing that. I have so many of clients or friends and family members that are doing the 20 minutes. So here's an example. You choose 5 exercises to do in a row for 1 minute each and do them for 4 rounds. You will do that. That'll be 20 minutes. So you could start with something fast moving like a burpee, then go into a leg exercise, maybe a lunge, pushing exercise like a push-up, something else like an integrated ab move like the plank, and then finish with something else, anything you want, like a medicine ball toss, whatever. That's a quick 20-minute comprehensive workout, and that's easy to do at home or at the gym.
And flexible for whatever equipment people have too.
Yeah, you could even do that with body weight. You don't need a medicine ball. You can do. I love doing just body weight. I study capoeira, a Brazilian martial art. There's no equipment, so I just gave you 4 examples, but those could be 4 exercises that were body weight. So you could do an anytime, anywhere workout.
Great. And do you have any place that people can go for more information if they want some more information on these tips?
You can go to tipsontv.com or juicyjuice.com.